Hey everyone, and welcome to the results video of the Car Ride Contest. Now, as the name implies, in this contest all the players had to build a car ride. I accepted quite a lot of things, so the term car ride was quite up to interpretation of the players. Anyway, we got a lot of really beautiful entries in this round, and we also saw some players who haven't actually joined the contest in years. So that was really exciting. Anyway, I'll start with the one that got last place, and I'll finish by announcing who is the winner of this round. Alright, in last place we have this entry from 73. He built this car ride which travels in a rectangular path over this wall. Well, the wall, I think it looks alright. The car ride layout, I think it's a little bit boring. Definitely could have done a bit more with the layout. There are some cars and other stuff flying around here, but not really sure how that ties into this car ride. Alright, then we have this entry from OpenRCT2. Yeah, just a very simple small park with a small car ride over here in the corner. Yeah, what I think would really help, and to make a really quick improvement, is just play around with the ground textures a bit in this park. And definitely some more decorations all over these empty areas would have definitely helped make this park score a little bit better. Okay, then we have the entry from Solaris. Now, he made this car ride in the desert called Expedition Egypt. Now, to be fair, I think it actually looks pretty nice. It's fun watching these cars go around here in the desert. You can also see some ruins here, which is pretty cool. Although, since you are trying to impress people here, I think it's definitely worth just filling up your desert with more ruins. I think that will make it much nicer for the viewer, and it will just hold their attention a little bit longer. Alright, here's the entry from Hot AZ Guy. He made this big, what looks like a fair. It's just filled to the brim with rides, and here in the middle we have this monster truck stunt show. Now, no guests actually seem to be riding this ride when you open the park. I definitely recommend having a lot of guests in your park whenever you save it. Just it's much more exciting for the viewer to actually see guests in the rides. I don't think it really makes sense for these vehicles to be driving here without any guests in them. Also, I really recommend against using this grid flooring in your park. Alright, here's the entry from Cat Booger. He had some story about theme park buying up the area around the factory, so they decided to turn the factory into a tourist attraction, if I remember it correctly. So here we see these pickup trucks going around. I think it's quite funny how he did this road here. This looks like a single rail coaster track which alternates between visible and invisible. I think it actually works quite well for this road, and lots of fun stuff to see around here as well. But yeah, probably an improvement could have been made by just filling up areas like these with some more interesting stuff rather than just a rocky floor. But yeah, I do quite like this area here in the middle with all these decorations. Okay, here's the entry from Grimnork. This looks small and quite cozy. Yeah, there's some nice little buildings here in the corner, some interesting landscaping as well. In the corner we can find this car ride. But yeah, just like the park from Hot AZ Guy, there's not really any guests in the park. So that means we also see this car ride travel around without any guests actually in the vehicles. So yeah, I think it definitely would have been a little bit nicer if we actually saw some more guests ride the car ride. Now it looks like 2 guests are finally getting on it. But yeah, that's just a little tip to get people to rate your entry a bit higher. But yeah, overall, I think these buildings are decorated quite nicely, and the car ride also looks pretty nice. Okay, here we have the entry from Autobus22. Now, he made this really small car ride in this barn. I think he decorated this car ride quite nicely, actually. It is a little bit on the short side, but it is fun watching it go around, and yeah, I especially like this area here with these gardens, and yeah, this also looks pretty nice. What I actually liked most about this map was this cranberry farm over here. So actually, you can actually see these cranberry farmers here, which actually are reskinned entertainers. But yeah, it's quite a nice map. I think people would have liked it a bit more if there was more of if the car ride maybe was a little bit bigger and just went through the area. Okay, here's the entry from Colorblind Unicorn. Now, he said he didn't really have time to finish it, so he just submitted it like this. So yeah, it is a little bit on the rough side, especially here near the edges of the park. But yeah, I think it actually looks pretty nice. It's fun watching these cars race each other through this building here. And he made this cutout in the building here, so you can actually see the cars race each other through some of these sections, which I think is it's just a really clever way of doing an indoor ride. Especially this section over here looks quite fun. So yeah, while this looks a bit unfinished, definitely here on the edges, I think Colorblind Unicorn did a nice job here. Okay, here's the entry from Thor II. He made this car ride which travels in an area where dinosaurs walking around, kind of like Jurassic Park. So yeah, I think he did quite a nice job on the foliage, especially. I think that worked out pretty well. You can see all this jungle foliage here. I think that looks pretty cool. Also pretty nice landscaping. And there's also this big other coaster here. Now, if I were to give some advice, I'd probably tell Thor II to actually focus a bit on the color choices in the park. I think a bright orange rail is probably not the best choice for a car ride like this that travels through a landscape. I think it would be pretty distracting. So probably I would just make it something like this, green or even brown, just to make it a little bit less in your face. But yeah, that's what I would do. But yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty nice entry. Okay, the next entry is from DJ Wessie. He did a ride which is sort of like test track. That's what he said in his story. So over here we can see a big building. So it's kind of like a typical big building in a theme park. So a big facade, and then the roof, which guests won't see when they're walking here, is just a plain flat roof. So it takes a while for the cars to actually leave the station. But yeah, here in the first section they will go quite slow. And then finally over here we can actually see some chain lift here on the single roller coaster track. And then the cars will actually go faster. Now, sadly, yeah, this car is way ahead of this one. And when it goes fast here, yeah, it will just stay ahead by that. So they don't actually really duel each other quite well. So probably it would have been easy to prevent this by playing around a bit with where the chain lift for this car ride starts and where this one begins. So yeah, that definitely could have been improved easily. But yeah, I think the building facades and the other rides actually look pretty nice. Okay, here we have the entry from NZ Wolfie. Now what I really like is how he did the track layout or the track style. It looks like a mix of the hybrid coaster track and the alpine coaster track, which is a new track type you can build in OpenRCT2. But yeah, together I think they combine really well. I think it looks really convincing as a car ride track. I think it looks really nice. Now, some other nice decorations in the park as well. The entrance looks pretty good. Also like the paths with all these trees next to them. There's some other decorations here. Although the edge of the park with all the unkept grass, yeah, that just looks a little bit... yeah, that just looks a little bit rough. Probably that could have been done a bit nicer. Maybe even with some fences around the paths. Yeah, that could have easily been done a little bit nicer. Or even, for example, mowing the grass. This already makes it 10 times better, in my opinion. Okay, here we have the entry from ICU. ICU actually played in a multiplayer round on my server several years ago, so it's nice to see him back in joining a contest. He made a story about a campsite which was now haunted, and you can actually see these cars travel through this area. Now, it is a little bit on the glitchy side on some parts, especially here on this bridge, but also on these paths here. I think this could have been prevented by moving the wooden track a little bit lower. That probably would have stopped the glitching over here. And on the paths, probably something else would have been necessary. Maybe just get rid of the paths and do something with ground texturing. What I think ICU did really well is the landscaping. This looks pretty nice. Also, I think the foliage here is done quite nicely. Although it does look a little bit on the repetitive side, especially over here. Now we can also see some fun other activities which you would do at the campsite. It looks like an archery ground here, which is a little bit overgrown. The whole campsite is a bit overgrown. And this campfire, which is in some way still lit. Maybe that's the haunted part. But yeah, I think it's a fun park with a fun story. Alright, the next entry is from CXM1060. He made this, I believe it's a recreation of a real ride. It's called Auto Race, and actually used the side friction track for the car ride. I think it actually works pretty well. These cars fit in here pretty nicely, so it actually does look like it's made for these cars. So that's, I think that's pretty cool. I think the car ride itself maybe could have used some decorations, maybe some lamps around it, or some poles, or I don't know. But yeah, the area is decorated really nicely with these trees and plants and rocks. I think a really nice job was done here on the foliage. So some nice buildings over here. But my favorite building is actually this castle building here for the entrance. I think I would have liked to see more buildings in this park in this style, because I think this building just looks super nice. It was definitely one of my favorites. I think this is really a good example for people who would like to make a building in a castle style. I think this is just something that would be nice to. This is just a really nice style. So yeah, fun car ride and some really nice buildings in this park as well. Alright, here we have the entry from Johnson. Now first off, I think the scenery in this park is incredible. I love the colors on these buildings. I did see some complaints from people that said it was maybe a little bit too colorful. My favorite part of this entry was actually this dragon over here. I think this is just really cool. You can see this B&M coaster track and this front vehicle of a dragon coaster. That's really nice. I love the foliage decorations, really nice. Now, there's also a car ride traveling around here. You can see these monster trucks going around. I probably would have slowed them down a little bit, because they're traveling through this park quite fast. And especially through some sections like over here. It just doesn't look very realistic. And I think it would have been nice for the guests to just be able to take their time in here to enjoy their surroundings. Now I'm just going to quickly use the cutaway view. You can also actually look inside these buildings here. It's always nice when people also pay attention to decorating the insides of their buildings. Although probably a lot of people will miss it. I think this is a really nice looking entry, but the car ride probably could have used a little bit more attention. Okay, here we have the entry from Kongoy. Kongoy made this park with a really nice landscape. You can see this big hill here with a big waterfall on it as well. I think the landscaping done in a really nice way here. You can also see a big single rail coaster traveling through this park. That's pretty nice. Now over here, for some reason, there's a really colorful area. I think the colorful area, I think it contrasts a bit too much with the rest of the park. So not really sure why it was done here. I do really like this twist ride. Yeah, I think that just works really well. Not really sure if it fits well in this context, but yeah, I think it just looks really cool with all this movement here, all the cog wheels and these different vehicles. In a steampunk park, this would work really well. Now over here there's actually the car ride. It's a monster truck ride which travels around here. And if you rotate the map, you can actually see them go behind the waterfall here. And it's actually really cool how we did these fossils here in the ground. Just a really fun entry with some really cool details, and yeah, I really liked this car ride. Alright, then we have a tie for 10th place. This is the entry from Bam the Bomb. His story was something about it being the year 2169 or something, and to celebrate, I believe some flying shops or flying buildings actually came to this racetrack to celebrate. I believe this is a Ferrari, yeah, you can see a Ferrari building over here. This is the Ferrari World Show. Oh, there's actually lots of cars flying around here. To be fair, I thought these cars were a little bit, yeah, distracting. I sometimes also like to have stuff flying around in my maps, but yeah, when it's like this, at some point they may start looking like annoying flies. Anyway, Bam the Boom gave some tips to use the cutaway view at a certain height. I believe it was 33.75 if I'm not mistaken. Oops. That's a weird bug. And then we can see all these cars traveling around here on this track. Yeah, looks a little bit chaotic with all these cars going around here at different speeds, even passing through each other. But yeah, I do think Bam the Bomb did a nice job decorating this area. It looks like a little vineyard here, using this grape trick that they also used in Funtopia. I think he did a really nice job at that. Some nice foliage over here. Some nice buildings all throughout. Yeah, I think Bam the Bomb did a really nice job making an interesting entry. Although, like I already said, it is a bit on the chaotic side in parts. Okay, here's the entry from Ball Pit Warrior. I thought this was a really cool entry. Let's see what's the rally experience. Not really sure, but I believe this is based on a game, or maybe it's just sponsored by Sega. But yeah, this entry has quite a nice racetrack, and yeah, there's also lots of funny little scenes next to the track. For example, there's a crashed car here. This guy is called Help. Some fun buildings next to the track. Here we can see some places for the guests to sit. Here we can see a twist ride that's decorated nicely. There's also a wooden coaster here on the edge of the map. Although I do always recommend people to stay away from the edge of the map a little bit, or else it will just look like you had to shoehorn it in. And that's probably actually what happened here. By the way, I always get some comments from people who complain that I don't show their entry long enough, or that I missed some parts. Yeah, I try to keep the time for every entry in this video quite short, just so I'm able to show all of them in this video. And if you want to check out these parks for yourself, you can download all these entries from my Discord server. So I definitely recommend you doing that. Especially for the later entries, as they are usually very detailed, and I cannot possibly cover everything there is to see in them. Alright, here's the entry from Ganderlow. Now, he made a really fun monster truck ride, which we can see over here. It travels through this area in quite a chaotic pattern. But what's actually fun is that these monster trucks actually travel up these rocks here, and sometimes they also travel backwards for a bit. And I think it's just really fun to watch them go around here like this. Wilderness wagons. So yeah, not really sure how this ride would work in real life, but yeah, this is clearly not a very realistic ride anyway. They also travel past they travel over the path here, which tells me the ride must be a miniature railway, which it actually is, yes. So if your ride is changed to a miniature railway, then when it passes over a path, I guess we'll actually wait for the vehicles to pass. It's also a fun little detail. But yeah, just really cool decorations throughout the map. You can also see a pretty nice coaster over here. Yeah, it's a really fun entry. Alright, after 3 years of absence, Julia Mild is now back. And Julia Mild this time made the Oude Tufferbaan, a car ride from Efteling. So I believe this is not the entire track, but just part of it. I think it just looks incredible. These gardens just look really cool. And it's just really fun watching these cars travel around here through this beautiful scenery over here. One of my favorite parts was actually these gardens over here. They just look so cool with this color gradient, these height differences over here, and also these really nice buildings. Over here we see the Polka Marina. It actually doesn't have a name. But yeah, this beautiful whale here in the middle. This just looks so chunky, but so well done. And over here we can see the Halve Maan, which is a swinging ship. Yeah, I'm not sure if I would have kept this track over here visible. Probably this ride could have been improved a little bit, but the boat itself, I think it looks amazing. It's just so nice. You can also see this big building behind it. So this is an incredible entry from Julia Mild, and it's just so great to see Julia Mild back in action after such a long absence. Alright, here's the entry from Dark Raider. Dark Raider made a car ride using the racing cars. To be fair, I thought this was looked more like a go-kart ride than actually a car ride. But yeah, it is technically a car ride, so it was accepted for the contest. And it does look amazing. So yeah, the overall map shape, really nice. It actually works really well also with this pink water. And we can see some beautiful foliage here on the sides of the map. And these big plants as well. And these are actually piranha plants. Here we can see a king piranha plant with this pipe here in the middle. See another piranha plant here, one of those that just move upwards from a pipe. You can see all these vines here and these roots throughout the map. Yeah, I think this is just a really cool looking entry. It's called Open Mario Kart, the ride. Yeah, I think this is just an incredible entry. It just looks really nice. Alright, here we have the entry from Savvy Adam. He went for his typical style with the dark water, lots of foliage throughout the map. Of course, even there's probably even 4 lighthouses here. So yeah, Savvy Adam really likes lighthouses for some reason. Here you can see the car ride traveling around the map. I think it looks really cool with all these, with it traveling between all these paths, in between all these trees. Landscaping's done really nicely. The station for the ride, I think it looks incredible. It kind of looks like a gas station. Yeah, I think the gas station done very nicely. Yeah, the map's just full of nice landscaping throughout, nice foliage. I think Savvy Adam really outdid himself in this round. Great work. Now here we have the entry from Lurker. Lurker is getting really good at this game. And he made this really nice car ride which travels all throughout this entry, which is actually located on several different islands. Yeah, I think the map design is incredible. I just love the shape of these islands. The foliage on all these islands it looks really nice. You can also see all these islands have kind of a different theme to them. This one looks a little bit more urban. This one looks as a Roman theme. This one has a pirate theme. It kind of reminds me of the Mario Kart map that Mackett made for several years ago. But yeah, just an incredible looking landscape, and of course it's also fun watching this car ride travel through all these throughout all these areas. Yeah, just great theming, and there's also some other nice rides in the area as well. You can see some canoes here, some bumper boats. Yeah, all these rides in the map just work really well to make this map look incredible. Great work from Lurker. Alright, here we have, I believe, the only team up for this round. This map was made by Manticore and Bussy the Legend. And they made a Jurassic Park themed entry. So over here is the station for the ride. You can actually see all the guests queuing here. Now this building looks incredible. This map is just full of references to the Jurassic Park movie. You can see the helipad here. I believe this is where guests actually enter the park. That's quite nicely done. You can see them disappear into the ground here. Yeah, over here we see the big fence made with, I think with mini suspended coaster track. And they actually used the supports for the track as supports for the fence. Yeah, this is really clever because it looks really nice. Now we can see the cars, the pickup trucks travel all through this area, and it's all full of funny little scenes. Most of them actual references to the movie. You can see this flipped over car here. You can see several dinosaurs throughout this area, and of course beautiful foliage. I think they did an incredible job at that. There's another little pen over here. Lots of scenes with entertainers. So yeah, I definitely recommend you to download this park and check it out for yourself. And if you're a big fan of this movie, I definitely recommend go check out all these references. They even made some eggs with what looks like balloons. It's just some really clever trickery here. Alright, here we have the entry that got 3rd place. This is the entry from Enox. And just like Julie Melt, he also recreated the Oude Tufferbaan in Efteling, which is a park in the Netherlands. Except he did the entire layout. And oh boy, this was actually my favorite entry of the round. Yeah, Enox just did such an incredible job recreating this ride. I especially love this entry sign that he made for the ride station. Looks incredible. Yeah, you can actually see some. The real ride has some bunnies that pop up when the cars pass by. He actually recreated that with some of these cats from, which are actually also a car ride vehicle. That's just such a funny little scene here. But yeah, just the incredible foliage throughout. Yeah, really nice landscaping. Yeah, especially the foliage over here, just done so well. And it's also fun to watch the other rides. You can sometimes see the train pass by here. Here's actually another ride. These are these small train locomotives that you actually have to pedal to move forwards. I actually rode this last year. But yeah, just a wonderful entry from Enox, just so full of nice little scenes and details. So yeah, definitely go and check out this entry for yourself, especially if you're a big fan of the Efteling. Alright, there are just 2 entries remaining. I will first show both of them, and after that I will announce which one is the winner of this round. Now here we have the entry from The Brew. And The Brew actually made a Hot Wheels car ride. So you can see the station over here. Now it is a little bit on the glitchy side, which you can see as we move around. But I think I can forgive him, because this just looks amazing. So that's the typical orange Hot Wheels track. You can see the cars pass under here. And then after that they will actually pass through this cabinet. And over here they will travel upwards as... there's even a lift over here. This looks pretty nice. And then they actually pass over this aquarium, or this fish tank. And then over here they actually go through the roller coaster part of the ride. Pass around this enterprise called Buzzsaw. You even have a little jump over here. And finally they go through this helix and then back to the station. So yeah, you could argue that it's more of a roller coaster than a car ride, but I think it actually works pretty well. But yeah, just so many cool little details in the park, like this fish tank, there's this record player. See this alarm clock over here with a lamp. I think this is a computer. Also, I think this is a rat. And it's even connects coaster over here. But yeah, just an incredible looking entry from the brew. Also a bit bad here, of course. Yeah, just an incredible entry from the brew. It's so full of nice details. The car ride itself looks incredible. So yeah, just a wonderful entry. I really enjoyed this. Alright, and finally here we have the entry from Hobion. Now he made this incredible landscape with a lot of height difference. Something which Hobion actually really likes doing. You see it in a lot of his entries. Yeah, that just immediately gives you this wow effect once you open the park. Now, yeah, this landscape also full of these recolorable ruined pieces with a lot of foliage mixed throughout. And all in all, I think that's one of the really strong points in this map, the foliage. Now, it is a little bit on the glitchy side. As we move around, you can see quite a few spots where the foliage and the rocks are put in the same spot. So yeah, that's probably something to watch out for. One of my favorite things was actually all these vines here with these plants, which just look really nice over here, right above the waterfall. Now it's just really fun watching this car ride travel all throughout this entry. Hobion actually did a nice trick here to make it look like the land is cut out here and there's actually a tunnel in the land. Yeah, just lots of nice tricks used in this map. Yeah, it's you can actually follow these monster trucks all throughout this map. They just travel everywhere. You can also see some boats traveling around here. And of course the buildings on this map, they also look amazing. So a really nice looking brown building. An incredible bridge over here. The path's also done really nicely. So yeah, Hobion did an incredible job. Oh yeah, here's another really nice spot. I really like the location of this topspin. Although it does maybe look like this cutout had to be a little bit higher, just to accommodate for the height of the topspin. But yeah, all in all, just a wonderful entry from Hobion. Alright, it's now time to reveal which one of these last two entries is the winner of this round. Is it the Brew with his Hot Wheels car ride, or is it Hobion with his monster trucks on this incredible landscape? The winner of the car ride creation contest is Hobion. Yeah, as you might be able to see, the scores were incredibly close. So every one vote could have swayed the outcome in the other direction. So yeah, that just goes to show how close some of these scores can really be. But yeah, two wonderful entries in the end. I think both of them deserved the win. Alright, those were all the entries for the car ride contest. If you enjoyed watching all these entries, please consider giving the video a like. It would really help out my channel. A new contest will start soon. And yeah, if you want to join, simply become a member on my Discord server. You can find the link in the video description. And yeah, the rules will be revealed soon, and it will also explain you how you can join. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.